Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're unpacking some big updates on Donald Trump's ongoing legal battles, specifically the gag order in his New York felony case, despite Trump's team trying every possible avenue to get it overturned. The gag order remains firmly in place, and even the U.S. Supreme Court isn't interested in stepping in. Let me walk you through what's going on. First, some context. Trump was convicted on 34 felony counts related to falsifying business records. While we're still waiting for Judge Juan Merchan to hand down a sentence, Trump's legal team has been focused on challenging the gag order Judge Merchan imposed nearly 2 years ago. This order prevents Trump from making public comments that could interfere with the case or put people involved at risk. Naturally, Trump and his team aren't fans of this restriction. But before we get into the details, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. Their main argument against the gag order, they claim it violates First Amendment rights, both Trump's and those of the press. They argue that reporters can't ask Trump questions about Judge Merchan and his family, and Trump can't respond because of the order. The reasoning they're using, though, is flimsy, to say the least. They're trying to argue that Judge Merchan is biased because his daughter works in Democratic fundraising and his wife has a job as a prosecutor. Let's start with that, or yes. She works for organizations that support Democratic causes, but there's no evidence that her job has any impact on Judge Merchan's ability to be impartial. Courts have looked at this repeatedly and ruled that a judge is independent of their family members. Judge Merchan doesn't benefit financially from his daughter's work, and there's no professional overlap between them. In short, her career has no bearing on his decisions in the courtroom. Now, to his wife, Judge Merchan's wife, Laura, has been a career prosecutor for about 30 years. For a brief 3-year period, she worked in the same office as Letitia James, the New York Attorney General. But, and this is important, Letitia James isn't involved in this case. The prosecution was handled by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, so there's zero overlap. Laura's current job is with the Nassau County District Attorney's Office, which is also completely unrelated to this case. Her career has nothing to do with the trial, yet Trump's team is trying to spin it into a conflict of interest. Despite these weak arguments, Trump's team decided to take this fight to the New York Appellate Division earlier this year. Back in May 2024, the court reviewed their petition to overturn the gag order and denied it outright. The court explained that the gag order is necessary to ensure fairness in the trial and to protect everyone involved. Trump doesn't have the right to say or do whatever he wants if it risks disrupting the judicial process or putting people in danger. But Trump's legal team didn't stop there. They escalated the issue to the U.S. Supreme Court, filing an emergency petition to overturn the gag order. Because the case originated in New York, the petition first went to Justice Sonia Sotomayor. She reviewed it in October and denied the request. Still not satisfied, Trump's team refiled. And this time the petition landed with Justice Samuel Alito, since Trump now resides in New Jersey. Justice Alito also rejected. Essentially, this means 2 Supreme Court justices, and by extension, the entire court, have made it clear that the gag order is valid and necessary. So what does this mean for Trump? The gag order isn't going anywhere, and he has to abide by it. This isn't just about the New York case either. Trump is also under a similar gag order in the federal case overseen by Judge Tanya Chutkan. If Trump violates these orders, he could face serious consequences. Judges can and do factor in a defendant's behavior when deciding on a sentence, and continued attacks on the court or those involved in the case could result in harsher penalties. What's really interesting is that this isn't the first time courts have rejected these arguments. Over the past couple of years, Trump's team has repeatedly tried to claim that Judge Merchan is biased simply because his wife and daughter have jobs. Courts have, consistently ruled that these claims hold no water. Honestly, it feels like they're trying to drag us back to the 1940s, as if the fact that women work somehow disqualifies a judge. But it's 2024 and these outdated arguments just don't stick. At the end of the day, the courts have been clear. The gag order stays because it's necessary to protect the judicial process and ensure a fair trial. Whether Trump and his team like it or not, their arguments haven't convinced anyone, and the Supreme Court has effectively closed the door on this issue. That's where things stand for now. Of course, there's always more happening in Trump's legal world, including some buzz about one of his former lawyers, Alina Habba, landing a new role despite her questionable track record. But we'll dive into that in another video. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree with the court's decisions, or do you think Trump's team has a point? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you found this breakdown helpful. See you next time.